And as we get ready to leave the Susquehanna station, let's wave goodbye to Mike, our station master here today. And there's also Hans, our supervisor, keeping track of us. And we're now moving further into our Portuguese Parlors district. And the white building on our left is the Susquehanna Plantation House. Built in 1835, it was located in the Tidewater region of Maryland. It was part of a 700-acre plantation where they grew wheat and tobacco. They also had 65 enslaved individuals who worked the plantation. Now, the reddish-colored building on our left is the Plimpton family home, and this is the oldest American-made home in the village. Built in 1640, it was located in South Sudbury, Massachusetts. And here's the Ferris windmill. This is the oldest windmill in the U.S., built in the mid-1600s on the North Shore of Cape Cod. Next door to that is our Daggett Farmhouse, built in 1754. It's an example of rural. After they've been pulling wagons and carriages, here they have a chance to rest and get ready for the next time they have to work in the village. Now, the locomotive going on train today is the number 7 locomotive, built in 1897 at the Baldwin Locomotive Works out of Philadelphia. In fact, this is one of 500 locomotives the company built that year, and this one was originally used by the Detroit and Lima Northern Railway to pull passenger cars for the railroad. And then in 1920, it became part of the Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton Railroad, which happened to be owned by Henry Ford. And Henry took a real liking to this particular locomotive and had it refurbished, and he would even use it from time to time to pull his personal passenger cars, business trips, and to meet with family and friends. And I'm going to stop talking for a few moments and let you sit back and enjoy the ride. In fact, you can even imagine what it must have been like back in the late 1800s to ride a train being pulled by a coal-burning, steam-powered locomotive. Restoration area, the largest of its kind in southeastern Michigan. Here, the Henry Ford, along with state and local agency government, worked to restore the Rouge River to its natural condition. And there's the river on the right-hand side. It's a little lowest, but you'll notice it does have natural riverbanks down there. And you might even see some turtles down there as well. Now, not too far from here, the Rouge River actually has cement sides. That was done for flood control, but over here, everything is natural, and you saw some of our natural denizens back there. Some turkeys. We also have some deer, raccoons, possums, squirrels. The turkeys are the ones you see most often. And right now, we're coming into Walnut Grove. This is our special event field. And you can see the Martins little baseball diamond over there on the left. That's because on Saturdays and Sundays, our vintage baseball teams, the La-Di-Da's and the Nationals, play baseball here. And they take on teams from other parts of Michigan, and they play historic baseball. In other words, they rely on rules written back in 1867. Now, when we were up there by Menlo Park, you might have noticed a fenced-in area that was right across the street from the laboratory. And that is the future site of the Jackson House from Selma, Alabama. The Jackson House was a haven and strategic planning place for Dr. Martin Luther King during the civil rights protests of 1965 in Selma. And those activities that led directly to the signing of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And here's the Henry Ford Academy. It's a public charter school. It's open to students who live in Wayne County, Michigan. We have about 500 students who attend the academy in grades 9 through 12. Ninth graders actually take their classes up at the Henry Ford Museum, but the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders have their classes over in this area. And we're coming up to a rather unique set of classrooms. These are railroad Pullman cars, and they've been converted into classrooms. Our seniors use these rooms for their math and English classes. Now the Academy has a graduation rate of 95%, and nearly everyone who graduates qualifies either for college or some form of post-secondary education. There's the Swanee Lagoon to our left, the catch basin for water overflow in the village. And as you might imagine, our Swanee Lagoon does have some turtles that live in it. In fact, there's one turtle in particular that I do like to mention, and he's a snapping turtle. And he's a big snapping turtle. He's as large as a garbage can big, and we call him Godzilla. Now as we pass the lagoon, you'll see the Martha Mary Chapel on the hill to your left. This is a non-denominational chapel that's often used for weddings here in Greenfield Village. Henry Ford had the chapel built in 1929, and he then named it after his mother, Mary Ford, and his mother-in-law, Martha Bryant. And we're now passing a Taste of History. This is a cafeteria-style restaurant. It's open from 9:30 until 5, serving snacks and drinks, and it's open from 11 to 3 for lunch. Now, the larger white building on our left is the Eagle Tavern, also a restaurant, serving lunch between 11 and 3 as well, but it features a menu that dates back to the 1850s. Not exactly sure what's happening over there at the Eagle Tavern. Looks like they might be practicing for the ballet. I'm not sure. Anyway, right now we're coming into the Smiths Creek Station. We'll be stopping here for 4 minutes. And you'll be able to exit the train on the left-hand side, but please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop and the engineer blows the whistle. All right, let's wait for that whistle to sound. Just a few more moments.